Call the back closed session. Okay. Call the meeting back to order following the closed session. For now, we will return to the regular meeting agenda and adjourn. Entertain a motion. Second. All in favor? Meeting adjourned. We'll take a short couple-minute break, and then we'll get back to you. Thank you guys for your patience for staying here. Yeah, we'll get going. I think that. Oh, all right. Well, we'll roll right in. Does anybody need to take a break? Everybody need to get a drink? Everybody good? Okay. I would like to call the May 7th, 2025 Board of Aldermen meeting to order at 7:29 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Aye. Anyone in the audience like to give an invocation this evening? Heard? Okay. City Clerk, will you please call the roll? Here.
Here.
All right. So the first item on the agenda is the election of the acting president of the Board of Aldermen.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Carla Detweiler.
We have one nomination for Carla Detweiler. We have another nomination for Mark Johnson. We have any other nominations? None heard. So move for a roll call vote for the first nominated Carla Detweiler. Oh, I guess we're gonna, okay, yeah. Yeah, well, any comments for board president before we move for a vote? Okay. Alderman Ney has requested that the nominators speak for the.
Oh, you want me to speak about, okay, yes. Carla has a lot of experience. She worked with planning and zoning. She's articulate. If you go to planning and zoning meetings, she asks a lot of hard questions, very informative. As far as dealing with issues and stuff, she's very good at research. She's, I think, really good at hunting down issues, and I think she would make a welcome addition to.
Waters.
So I would like to ask the people that were nominated, because it's one thing for me to say, this is what I think about Carla, but I think it's better to have the person talk and talk about their skill sets, talk about what value they bring, talk about their historical knowledge, how long they've been residents, etc. I know, I was wondering, because my microphone's on. Hello? I almost have to have it like right up here. Okay, I can repeat all that. Did you guys not hear me say? Okay.
Okay.
Gotta have it super close like this.
All right. All right. Can you hear me now, Cheryl? All right. Okay. Um, yes, I have been a resident of Darden Prairie for 21 years, and I have been on planning and zoning for over 8 years. And I have been, this is my um, first term as Board of Aldermen. Um, I am also on the Lewis and Clark trustee board and have been for 6 years. Um, I am very oriented towards what residents feel. I talk to the residents. I think of myself as a resident when I make decisions. And I also feel like that I am very easy to communicate with as from the residents' point of view and also from the board members myself. So that's why I would like to accept this position.
Yes, I've been a resident of Darting Prairie for 29 years, been my HOA president for 28 of those years. I also serve as a director for the Missouri Municipal League, which I'm a voice for Darting Prairie on there. I'm also a director for the Ambulance District here in St. Charles County. I have held many roles of leadership, organization. I've been a lobbyist in Jeff City, and I understand the fundamentals and operations of the government affairs that take place here in Darting Prairie. Yes, the duties of the acting president of the Board of Aldermen are established by state law. And what it provides for is that when any vacancy shall happen in the office of mayor by death, resignation, removal from the city, removal from office, refusal to qualify, or from any other cause whatever, the acting president of the Board of Aldermen shall, for the time being, perform the duties of mayor, all the rights, privileges, powers, and jurisdiction of the mayor, till such vacancy be filled or such disability be removed, or in the case of temporary absence, until the mayor's return.
Okay. There are no further questions. I will a motion for a roll call vote. Move for a roll call vote. For first nominee. Alderman Detweiler.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, I don't think there is additional action needed as the new board president is Alderman Detweiler. So that moves us to the next section of the meeting, the election of the Board of Alderman representative on the planning and zoning. Do I have any nominations for the Alderman representative to planning and zoning?
Well, I should say that for those that aren't, well, Carla's our representative right now. So I'm not sure if Carla wants to continue to do that role, if that's burdensome or, I mean, I know you are very effective and bring a lot of value to that, but I don't know if that's a role that you are interested in continuing. If so, I would certainly nominate you.
And I think that we can also establish this. Well, let me just be clear. Could this be an interim role for now forward, or is this something that can be, and for the city attorney, can both seats be held at the same time? Are there any conflicts? And as well, is this something that can be amended later as perhaps some of the new board members get settled in and may want to explore this as a possibility for their position?
I am not aware of any incompatibility with the two positions that were both being held by the same person.
Okay.
In terms of a change, I don't believe you can change it once the election, unless they resign.
And is this something that we must do tonight, or is this something we can postpone? If there are no nominations. What would you not like to nominate yourself?
I know I said I would nominate Carla if she's interested. Okay, I nominate Carla Detweiler.
A nomination, Carla Detweiler. Okay. Can I get a second? Second. Are there any other nominations for planning and zoning representative? None heard. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Guys have it. Carla Detweiler, Alderman Detweiler, you are also the planning and zoning representative.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Public comments. Do we have anybody who wishes to speak in public comments? Okay.
Okay. Hello, my name is Matt Wade. I'm actually not a resident of Darden Prairie. I live next door. We go to church in Darden Prairie. I spend plenty of tax dollars in Darden Prairie. I appreciate you offering me the opportunity to speak here. I'm actually here with my son, who's I'm very proud of him for being a first class scout. He is currently working on his communications merit badge, and one of the things he needs to do is to see a city council in action. And we're right across the street with our troop, so we figured this would be a good place to come. I wanted to speak today on the importance of the First Amendment. I wanted to show to my son what an amazing country we have, that I can come and tell you what I feel, and you have to sit there and listen to it for at least 3 minutes. That is not the case in O'Fallon, Missouri, because what I would have to speak on there must be on the agenda. And I'm ashamed that my elected officials in my hometown uh, are, I guess they have their lives in too big of a hurry that they don't want to hear anybody and everybody who has something to say for 3 minutes. So I applaud you for continuing to keep an open forum to allow anyone and everyone to, while observing the proper decorum, to come and tell you what they feel, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. And it is what is right with America. I'm a proud Eagle Scout. I love our secular religion of patriotism and our civic duty. And I applaud you for encouraging it and allowing it to continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, this is going to be on June 11th, and it needs to be amended, which we'll put forward with them. So that's a point taken, and we are going to add that as once we'll go through to. All right, thanks. Does anybody else on the board have any additional comments? Thoughts for consideration on this resolution before we move forward with it? To the previous point, we do need to add a date to it, so that would be 11th P and Z meeting. That would go forward. There'll also be opportunities for public hearings, so the public can also to dates to be determined. But for right now, we'll put it on the June 11th P and Z. So with that being said, I would entertain a motion. Accept resolution 393 with amendment to put it on the June 11th P and Z meeting. All in favor? Opposed? Unheard? Have it. Okay. All right, to old business. So this is Bill 2523 is read once in the previous meeting. This pertains to community college is expanding their field to table institute. They're expanding the building of their field to table institute to account for an additional space for hosting events and also just a variety of other activities. It was brought forward in the last meeting. Packets were presented and there should have been some additional information. I do just want to open it up momentarily for discussion. It's a second reading, so it's final. Once it moves forward, but to the new alderman on the board, I just wanted to make sure that everybody was up to speed on what this was, and if there's questions, we can entertain and address those now. Unheard. Sidebar with city attorney, we have to make an amendment to update the dates. So in case anybody was wondering, from perspective of the audience here. So nothing heard. So I would entertain a motion to read Bill 2523 for the second time, amending section 1 to reflect the current dates. All in favor? Attorney? Can we read by title only, Bill 2523 for the second time?
Yes, ma'am. An ordinance of the city of Dardenne Prairie, Missouri, approving an amended PUD final plan for a certain development commonly known as the Dardenne Creek Campus, St. Charles Community.
Further discussion? A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Now declare Bill 2523 passed and adopted as ordinance 2360. Okay. Well, that concludes the main part of the meeting. So we'll move to officer and staff communications. City attorney. City engineer. Further? Okay. City administrator. And alderman.
I do have something. One of the residents who was sitting in the first row, then he had to go back to his job, he said. But he was there because of Prairie View School. There's traffic issues when there's bad weather. And he said we should probably already know about this. Is anybody aware about an issue with Prairie View Elementary School? And, oh, because here's the problem, that when there's bad weather, a lot of the parents go to pick up the kids that maybe normally don't do that. So he said, it sounded like it, I'm sorry, it sounded like it was a safety issue. But he also seemed to indicate that we would already know about it.
I personally, has anybody heard about any safety review? Maybe we can follow up with them. Oh, go ahead.
The only thing I heard was parking on the residents parking on streets. Um, Get into the school.
Mm.
You know, it's blocking traffic. Is what I thought I remember. Came up one other time, and I don't know.
Was it weather related? Because he said it's usually weather related. Parents picking up their kids and safety issues. I guess I don't know if it's like people are running around and I don't know.
Did he have a suggestion or a,
He didn't mention one. I guess, and I'm embarrassed. I didn't get his name. Dale, okay. Thank you, Jeff. Dale.
Maybe we'll follow up with them and. Okay.
That makes sense.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else, any other aldermen have any additional comments? Unheard, okay. Comes to the mayor. Thank you all for hanging in here. It was a 30-minute overture that we went through and that was unplanned. So we thank you guys for hanging. There was some good discussion there. I'll just say it was positive, and hopefully at some point we can do all the great things that we had discussion about back there. But in the meantime, thank you for coming out, and special recognition to the Boy Scout in the back. And I hope your communications badge moves you that much closer to Eagle Scout and join your dad in the ranks of all the Eagle Scouts out there. So thank you for coming, and hope you enjoyed tonight. So thanks everybody. Hope you have a great evening. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.